Dear students, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I am Manzoor Ahmad, lecturer history. Our today's question for 12th class students of history subject is: who were Paharis and how Paharis responded to the coming of outsiders into their areas? Dear students, Paharis were basically the people who lived around Raj Mahal Hills, located in modern Jharkhand. And because these Paharis were living around Rajmahal Hills, that's why they were known as Paharis. And now the question is, when the outsiders means the British officers who had come from England and had occupied a number of areas of India, which we have discussed in previous question as well. These Britishers had occupied a number of areas of India, and so they were outsiders. And it's now believed that how these Paharis reacted to the coming of outsiders. Outsiders now means the British officials. So when British officials used to visit the areas of these Paharis, how these Paharis responded to the visit of these officials, to the visit of these British officials. Dear students, let's answer the question now. We understand that Francis Buchanan, who was a great physicist belonging to Scotland and did a number of work for a number of years in India and contributed in various fields of life. He was a great geographer, he was a great physician, he was a great doctor, you can say. So he made contributions in various walks of life, this Francis Buchanan, while living in India. And it was this Francis Buchanan who traveled throughout the Rajmahal Hills in the early 19th century, in the beginning of the 19th century. And according to this Francis Buchanan, these hills, the Rajmahal Hills, where the Paharis lived, these hills appeared to be impenetrable. Such was the dense vegetation in these Rajmahal Hills that it looked very difficult, rather impossible, for any outsider to enter these areas. It was such a hazardous region. It was such a very much a tough region that only a few outsiders, only a few British officials, outsiders means British officials, were able to enter this area, reach this area, means that is the area Paharis, into these Rajmahal Hills. And this Francis Buchanan says that whenever the outsider, that is British officials, used to come to the areas of these Paharis and Rajmahal Hills, these Paharis were not ready to talk to them because they considered these outsiders as their enemies, as the looters. Many a times, the Paharis, deserted their homes, deserted their huts in the Rajmahal Hills, and did not talk to the British officials who were coming to their visit, to the visit of their areas. So these Paharis preferred to desert villages, desert their homes, rather than to talk to the officials of the Britishers. And he has, however, described this Buchanan the deplorable condition of the people, of the Paharis in these Rajmahal Hills. These Paharis, they were completely unwilling to talk to any outsider, that is the British officials. The Paharis did not tolerate the interference of outsiders, whether these outsiders were British people or these outsiders were the people from the plain areas of India, other areas of India. These outsiders, these Paharis, did not want any interference in the internal matters of these Paharis in the Rajmahal Hills. It is also believed that these Paharis thought that if outsiders, mainly British officials, would come to their areas, would come to their regions, one day or the other, these regions, these Pahari regions, these Rajmahal Hills would be snatched from them. Therefore, at all times, these Paharis thought it better to leave their villages, to leave their homes, rather than to talk to the outsiders, mainly the British officers who used to come to their areas to have a visit to their areas. Thank you.